Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to another episode of Fast Facts Perio Edition, brought to you by A Tale of Two Hygienists in partnership with Dentist RX. And now, please welcome your host, Katrina Sanders.
Hello, and welcome to Fast Facts Perio Edition. This week, we are continuing the anatomy conversation, and this time we are moving into discussing the alveolar process. The next two episodes will talk about the different parts of the alveolar process. But to begin, we understand that the alveolar process itself constitutes the part of the maxilla and the mandible that form as well as support the sockets of the teeth, also known as the alveoli. Periosteum is the term used for the connective tissue that covers kind of that outer portion of the alveolar process, and the endosteum covers the inner surface of the alveolar process. Now, I had mentioned that there are two parts of the alveolar process, and this is going to take us back to hygiene school, but the two parts of the alveolar process are the alveolar bone proper, and that's what we're going to talk about this week. Next week, we're going to talk about the supporting bone. And it's important for us to understand the differences between the two. So this week, we're going to talk about alveolar bone proper. It is also called the cribriform plate. When's the last time you heard that term? Holy cats. But this type of bone is hard, dense, compact bone, and it's the bone that lines that tooth socket or the alveolus, and it's contained within the actual alveolar process. Radiographically, we call this the lamina dura, and that's what we're looking for radiographically when we're trying to approximate that beautiful white band of bone in the interproximal space. The bone where those Sharpie's fibers are going to stop is called bundle bone, and that bundle bone is found kind of in that inner lining of the tooth socket, or in that inner lining of the alveolar bone proper. The cribriform plates themselves are thinner plates of bone that have perforations, and those perforations are really important because those little openings are openings that carry blood vessels and nerve endings, and of course lymphatic support from the bone, and supplies kind of a nutritional source directly to the periodontal ligament fibers. That, my friends, is what we call the alveolar bone proper, the cribriform plate, and of course, the lamina dura. Stay tuned next week as we talk about the supporting bone, the second portion to the alveolar process, and the important role that the supporting bone itself plays in supporting our tooth structure in success. Tune in next week, and I look forward to seeing you then. This has been another episode of Fast Facts Perio Edition with Katrina Sanders. Please feel free to reach me on Instagram at The Dental Wine Genist or on my website, www.katrinasanders.com. Cheers.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Fast Facts Perio Edition, brought to you in part by Dentist RX, makers of the IntelliSonic line of power brushes. Find out more by visiting their website at dentistrx.com. We'll see you next week for another Fast Facts.